G'day everyone, Viv here, hope you're all keeping well. Thought I'd put up a real quick video. Actually, I don't know how quick it's going to be, I should stop saying that. Little after action report video. Played a game last night with my brother Aki. It's been a long time since I've played. It's been probably even longer since my brother has played. He's mostly into War Machine and a little bit of 40k. But I'm trying to get him into some Flames of War. So we played a game last night. It was Tank Company, 1100 points, which is a little bit weird, but that's the points that I had available for both US and Germans, both medium tank companies, essentially Shermans versus Panzer 4Hs. So I didn't unfortunately have the camera with me, so I couldn't do a live action battle report. So I've just got the table set up here as it was left last night after the US were sent running off the table. So let's have a real quick look, then I'll answer one question that Medic10Zulu had in his video about Shermans and Fireflies versus Tigers. Okay, so here's the table set up. Pretty much the same as the video that I showed before. Actually, this building was not there. So Germans deployed on this side, and I've got photos of that, so I might throw that up now. And obviously the Americans on the other side. 12 tanks in the German force and 10 in the 12 Shermans in the US force and 10 Panzer IVs in the German force. So let's have a real quick look at the aftermath. So basically this was one platoon of the Germans. They lost one tank at the beginning of the game. The other ones moved at the double in about the third turn down to here to cover the flank. Objectives, one here and one here, and on the other side of the board I'd placed for us to capture for the US one objective here and another objective here. So first turn, basically, you can see the setup there. The right hand platoon, pretty much everything stayed where it was first turn and just shot. Their first turn shooting took out 2 tanks. So this guy here got hit from somewhere over there. And this other chap over here, behind this hedgerow, got shot by the company command sitting over there behind the tree. So that was my first turn. That was the Germans' first turn. In my first turn, I basically moved a bunch of tanks up. Anyway, long story short, would have been a lot better if I had battle reports. There's carnage all over the place. In the second turn, these guys took, this platoon here took another 2 casualties in the town there. In their third turn, they took a morale check and fled off the table. These panzers which scooted down in the second turn, in their third turn, basically took out these 2 guys, and there was another casualty from that platoon. So they took a morale check, failed, and fled off the table. In the same turn, the third turn, it was a 3-turn game. There was a battle going on down here with my 2IC and my company commander, who basically got taken out in the third turn. Game over. So it was a German win. Unfortunately, the US didn't do too well, but we'll play the game again and see what happens. Right, okay, so this is for Medic10Zulu, passionate young guy, jumping full on into Flames of War, puts up a lot of videos recently, and I always enjoy watching them. He'd put up a video a couple of days ago where he was doing a little battle report of some Shermans, and they also had a Firefly in there versus a Tiger. He made a few mistakes, so I posted a bunch of comments there about the things that he did wrong. Gun Barrel today put up a video in response to his showing him some of the things that he did wrong, and he also made a mistake, so I made a comment on that, and so he took the video down. Sent me a message saying, hey listen, sorry about that, I should have proofed it first. Anyway, here's my take on the situation. So basically what Medic10Zulu was saying, he had 3 Shermans, and I know I don't have a Firefly, so I'm just going to sub this guy in on the right, on my left for the Firefly. 3 Shermans, a Firefly, and a Tiger. Now I don't have a Tiger, so my Panzer 4H is subbing for the Tiger. Now essentially the way that shooting works, Zulu, is that you have a specific anti-tank rating for your weapon. In this case, Shermans have an anti-tank rating of 10. to be able to hit or to be able to damage a tank, your anti-tank rating needs to be higher than the armor rating that you're trying to hit. So for example, the Tiger here, in its front armor, anything that's shooting at it from within its front is hitting its front armor. Now its front armor is 14, and the anti-tank of the Shermans is only 10. So there's no possible way that anything in front of this Tiger is going to do any damage to it. Now you had two buildings flanking your Tiger, which basically makes it very difficult for anything to get around the side to get any side armor. If we move this guy around here, he's still not getting side armor. He's still in front of that front arc. So he's still hitting front. So this Tiger basically, nestled in between these two buildings, isn't going to be damaged by any of these tanks. It can't be damaged by the anti-tank 10 of the Shermans, it can't be damaged by the anti-tank 13 of the Firefly. So this Tiger is going nowhere. It's going to destroy all of these tanks. The only way that we can cause damage to this Tiger is by getting around its flanks. Now because these buildings are here, that's not going to be possible. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that this building wasn't here. Now all of a sudden, the Americans, or the British in your case, can flank in their movement turn into the side of the Sherman, of this Tiger. Now we've got an anti-tank 13 Firefly shooting at a side armor of 8 for the Tiger. So already he's 5 better than the anti-tank, than the armor of the Tiger. So essentially the way that shooting then works, now that I've positioned myself, is that I make my roll to hit. Now, let's just say that this guy is a fearless veteran, so I'd need 4s to hit a veteran, and if you don't have one of these funky little templates, they're quite cool. If you have a look up here on the right hand side, don't know if I was going to show it, you can see that veterans to, hang on, wrong one, my bad, on the other side, to hit veterans 4+. So these are good. So 4+, I need a 4+. Do I hit? I do. Rolled a 6. So my anti-tank 13 Firefly has now hit my Tiger. So the Tiger now needs to make an armor save. Its armor is 8. And to 8 I add whatever I roll on the dice. So let's roll it. He also gets a 6. So 8 plus 6 is 14, which beats the anti-tank 13 of the Firefly and therefore suffers no damage. Let's say, for example, that instead of the 6, I'd actually rolled a 5. So my 8 plus 5 now equals 13, which is equal to the anti-tank of the Firefly. Because it's equal, there's a chance now that the Firefly might actually scare the crew inside enough to make them jump out, to bail them out. They can't destroy it because they haven't, the armor has saved it, it's equal, but there's a chance that they might bail them out. So these guys need to make a skill test. Now these guys are fearless veterans also. They make their skill check on a 3 or more. Sorry, my bad, that was wrong, that was way wrong. Forget about that, it's got nothing to do with skill checks. It's got to do with firepower. The firepower of the Firefly, I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming it's probably the same as the Sherman's, which is a 3+. Every weapon has an anti-tank rating and a firepower rating. Now that I've hit, the Sherman has equaled my anti-tank, I then need to make a firepower test. For my Firefly, I believe it's a 3+, so we'll roll that up. He makes a 2, doesn't make it, so the Sherman crew aren't afraid and they're going to stay inside their tank. Again, for argument's sake, let's say I rolled a 3. I made my firepower test. I needed a 3 or more, I'd rolled a 3. This Sherman tank, these guys are now freaked out and would bail out. Now, I don't have my bailout markers here, but then they'd bail out and you see a little bailout marker behind them. So the first example, in this case, nothing can damage the Tiger from the front. There's only very few models in the game that can actually do that. Everything else needs to get side armor. So anti-tank 13, shooting to hit the Tiger, hit. The Tiger then makes an armor save, which is 8 plus a dice roll. In this case, again, another 6. No comments about my rigged dice, please. They're not rigged dice. These are Flames of War official dice. So he makes an armor save. If he beats the anti-tank rating, he's fine. If he equals the anti-tank rating, he needs to take a skill test. The shooter needs to take a firepower test to either bail it out or do nothing to it. If his armor is less than the anti-tank rating of the weapon that shot it, I either get a chance on a successful firepower roll to destroy it, or if I'm not successful, then I bail it out. So they're the three things that happened. I hope that kind of made sense. I'd strongly recommend checking out the boot camp videos that Flames of War have on their site. I'll put the link to Flames of War somewhere around here. Well, it's a weird angle, and in the show notes below. So I hope that all made sense. I may split them into two parts. I don't know. I may not. The after action report, that really wasn't a battle report and was me rambling about a game that I lost. Congratulations to my brother Aki, he did a great job. First game in a long time, picked up the rules really easily and smashed me. And my response to Medic10Zulu. So thanks guys for watching and bearing with me as I ramble on. I have to go away unfortunately for business for the rest of the week. I'm only part way through doing the videos for casting the bases, so it's going to be another 4 or 5 days. Probably on the weekend they'll get put up on YouTube, and I'm happy to field any questions that you guys have when that comes out. So thanks for watching guys, I'll catch you next time. Bye.